Jesse Vang and Katrina Bauer are scheduled to appear in court today. The two suspects, they're charged in connection to the death of Elijah Vue, that 3-year-old who was found dead in September of 2024. We just learned a judge denied Vang's motions for either moving the trial or choosing jurors from another country. Now, Vang's request to sequester jurors during the trial was also denied. Prosecutors saying that Bauer, which is Vue's mom, sent Vue to live with Vang, who was Bauer's boyfriend, for disciplinary reasons at the start of 2024. Vue was then reported missing in early February of that year. Vang is having a motion hearing after his lawyers filed in March to have certain evidence be excluded and to have his trial moved to another country, and those jurors selected outside of Manitowoc County. We just told you what they had ruled on that. Vang is charged with several felonies, including hiding a corpse. Bauer is in court today for a status conference. Now, she's charged with a couple of felonies, including neglecting a child. No trial dates have been set. We will update you when we learn that information.